we're going to talk about the yoga of science of mind. But before I start, I want to start with by talking about a saying that we hear a lot in New Thought. The saying is, the definition of insanity is repeating the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. That may be true sometimes, but when it comes to the practice we are doing, it is definitely not true. What is true about our practice is it is in the doing over and over again that actually makes us great and creates mastery. It is the doing over and over that actually brings to our lives that brilliance that we want. So when it comes to practice, it is not true that it is insane to do something over and over again and expect a different result. Any musician knows that you practice the same scales forever, over and over and over and over, and of course you expect a different result. Sooner or later, those scales become visceral. They become a part of our bodies, and so they play out without us even thinking about it. And that's what we're after achieving in any spiritual practice we want to go after. In yoga, they use the term namaste. The light in me sees the light in you. And that is what we do in Science of Mind. Many people think Science of Mind is just about creating stuff. But what it's really about is going down into the deeper places of ourselves, where we can have what Ernest Holmes calls calm assurance. The calm assurance that of course our lives work. Of course, time is on our side. Of course, our lives are brilliant, irregardless of circumstance. In yoga, they say that it may look like it's all about the poses, but what yoga is really about is the breath. Keeping the breath calm, irregardless of the pose. In Science of Mind, we are after calm assurance. And to get there takes practice. Practice, practice, practice. There was a time I wanted to be a stockbroker. And the race consciousness at the time was that since I did not have a college education, that was impossible. Since I did not have a college education, everybody in my life was telling me that it was impossible for me to become a stockbroker because I didn't have a college education. But I wanted to become a stockbroker. And so I opened up the New York phone book and found 700 Wall Street firms listed. And I began in the A's and I started calling. After 299 calls, all I heard was, no, we won't give you an interview because you don't have a college education. On the 300th call, I told the person who answered the phone, this is my 300th call, and I would really like an interview to become a stockbroker. The person on the other end said, how many calls have you made? I said, 300. He said, well, anybody who's made 300 calls, I want to meet. I thought, oh, so he gave me an interview. Now I have a strategy. So the next call I said, this is my 301st call. And I used that for the next 20 calls. I got 15 job interviews and 6 job offers. So 299 times of doing the exact same thing showed no difference. And then, boom, life changed. shifted dramatically. So that's what we have when we practice. Sometimes it doesn't look like any change is happening, but it doesn't mean that it's not happening. You just never know when that next one's going to come along, where all of a sudden, boom, life is different. Life has shifted. That is the power of practice. In yoga, they talk about when you go into a pose, go to your edge, breathe, and smile. And if you can't breathe and smile, back off your edge. Well, this is perfectly true for science of mind. When we stretch and our ability to be, when we are uncomfortable in circumstances, if we can still breathe and smile, then we can still find that calm assurance. But if we are in panic, we have gone too far. And we need to back up to that place where we can still feel calm assurance that of course our lives work brilliantly. And of course time is on our side. Ernest has this saying about, he quotes an ancient saying of perfecting the perfection of inaction that leads to calm assurance. That it doesn't take action to create the lives we want. It just takes and he says, it's a misnomer because it's talking about outward action, when what we want to be doing is the inward action of taking the time to calm ourselves, taking the time to calm down, taking the time to take the next steps. In Buddhism, Tibetan Buddhism, they have this great saying, which is, you should meditate 20 minutes a day, unless you're very busy, and then you should meditate 40 minutes a day. And it sounds funny, but it's absolutely effective. And I know for myself, the busier, if I find myself feeling urgent about a deliverable, about what's going on, if I find myself stressed, I don't care what needs to get done. I stop. Because nothing gets done. My life does not move forward brilliantly if I am not in calm assurance. The other day, I am very shortly moving to California. And so the other day I went to have a hitch put on my car because I'm going to be dragging a U-Haul trailer cross country. And so I had a very busy day planned, had a lot I needed to get done. So I picked a U-Haul place that was within 2 miles of my house so I could drop it off, knew how long it would take to walk home, so I could then get done the rest of my day. I drive to the U-Haul place, and when I get there, I look at the person behind the counter, and she has no idea who I am. And anyway, they don't put on hitches at that particular location. Now, my first the first thing that came up for me was panic. But then I decided to relax. I decided this was my moment of practice. And one of our teachings is it's not what you do first, it's what you do second. And so I took that moment to step away from her, to recenter myself, to remind myself that time is on my side, to remind myself that of course my life works, to move back into that place of calm assurance that my life is brilliant and one with the one mind. While I was doing this, the woman behind the counter found where my appointment actually was. It was a place 4 miles away from where I was at that moment and 4 miles from home. So as I drove over, I continued my practice of simply knowing that time is on my side and my life works. And I felt myself calm into that place, slow down into that place. I arrived at the U-Haul location I was supposed to be at, dropped off my car, and when I stepped outside, I decided that what I needed was to even go deeper with this. What I wanted to feel was this on an even deeper level. So I let go of my plans for the day. I let go of any ideas about what my life would be like for that day. And instead, delve deeper into who I was being. Delve deeper into what we call an as-me consciousness. And with cars raging by and it very loud on the streets, I found a place inside me that was in awe of life. I found a place inside me that had such gratitude for the opportunity to be alive. I found a place inside of me that was brilliant. I walked about 1.5 miles in this state of bliss and found a place to eat. Walked in, got something to eat. As I walked back outside, there was a bus. I got on the bus. It took me home. When I got home, I checked the time. It was the exact time I had anticipated arriving home if my plans had worked out originally the way I had planned them. This is the power of stepping into calm assurance. The beauty of science of mind is that it is not about creating a good life or even a great life. It's about creating a miraculous life. What we have here is the ability to get into that state of calm assurance and allow our lives to be miraculous. And I am not special. Any of you, anyone can do this with practice. Just practice going to your edge, smiling and breathing. If you can't smile and breathe, back off. Take your time. Center yourself. There's nothing in yoga more important than the breath. There's nothing more important in science of mind than calm assurance that, of course, our lives work. I want you to close your eyes now and take a deep breath. And find yourself on a path. It is the perfect path. It is your path. The temperature, the air against your skin, the beauty, the sights, the sounds, the feeling is exactly the kind of path that you envision as perfect. Maybe it's in the woods, maybe it's on the beach, maybe it's in your home, maybe it's in the clouds. It is the absolute perfect path for you. Find that you come to a clearing. It is the perfect clearing. It has the view that is your perfect view. The sights, the sounds. It is absolutely perfect for you. Maybe it's on the beach. Maybe it's in the clouds. Maybe it's in your home. Wherever it is perfect for you. And there's a chair there. It's the perfect chair. It's the most comfortable chair in the world for you. And you go sit in it. And as you sit in it, you feel that. And now imagine your life every cell of your being in calm assurance that of course your life works brilliantly. Of course, time is on your side. Calm assurance that no matter what the circumstance, experience, or condition, that your life is miraculous. And from this place, bring in the circumstances of your life. Bring in the conditions of your life. Bring them in to this place of calm assurance that of course your life works. Feel it. Every cell of your body. No matter what the circumstance, no matter what the condition, no matter your experience, feel the calm assurance. When you are ready, thank yourself for this experience of calm assurance. Open your eyes.